Welcome back to the Caspa Silver YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to continue the Caspa and ASIC mining debate. If you haven't seen the first part of this debate, I please recommend you guys go check that out and watch that whole thing so then you guys can continue it here. I wanted to add a couple things because recently after I released this video, we had Cheer in the Discord of the Caspa Discord over here release a 30-minute video talking about ASIC friendliness is not friendly. I highly recommend you go ahead and take a look at that video. They give really good opinions and points, which I do understand all the valid points, but I just do not default to changing my stance on this, mainly based on these new facts that I decided to look into. First off, I completely forgot about the Casper Wiki, and I feel kind of stupid for even having to say that here, but I literally remember talking about, hey, remember that Casper Wiki, go to this because this is really good information on any topic. And then I remembered, hold up, is this already addressed in the Casper Wiki? And well, what do you know? It's here. So let's actually dive into this a little bit and talk about it. So it says, if ASICs is developed, will the team change the algorithm to restrict them? All right, so let's see what Big Papa says. ASICs require a tremendous amount of capital to go from design, tape out, die fabrication to hash board production, etc. If there was a party that was interested in creating ASICs for Caspa, it should be welcomed with open arms. In regards to security, ask yourselves this: would a potential malicious actor attack that network with a farm of GPUs or ASICs? Obviously, GPUs can be repurposed to different tasks and algos after the attack. If you attack the network with ASICs, you are essentially breaking the utility of the devices and rendering them useless, as an ASIC is an application specific to a single algo. It comes at a full capital loss to inflict an attack on a network in which those ASICs are only useful for. And here are the sources for this chat, and I want to make a mention of this. I think a lot of us are new to the space. We are really new to the space, and honestly, we don't know what we're talking about. I claim myself, I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to this huge mining debate and if ASICs are going to be bad. But guys, I understand it now, because if you do your research, you'll realize that these things have been addressed months ago. These things are not new. Many people may think, oh, these developers are being quiet, they're not saying anything, and they have said some stuff, but also they're just not making a vote or anything like that. And the reason why is because this has been settled from the start, the inception of Caspa, that Caspa was going to transition as a project from CPUs to GPUs all the way to ASICs. And not only that, I feel like a lot of people are disregarding the CPU miners. What about them? All those CPU miners were kicked out, and it seems like we transitioned fairly easily and nicely, and no one cares about those CPU miners that I'm pretty sure they do exist out there. And now these GPU miners are complaining and worried about the ASICs coming in and taking over and being centralized and all this type of stuff. But it's just not the same. It's not the same. ASIC mining coming into Caspa, especially with 62% of it already mined, is it's a game changer. It's not the same over here. Remember, we're not a coin here that's a meme coin, or a coin trying to just allow people to buy NFTs and buy a bunch of drooling monkeys. We're here actually trying to be a currency that can compete with Bitcoin and be on the same par as being what Bitcoin was supposed to be. Bitcoin was supposed to be that peer-to-peer electronic cash system, but what we have is a store of value now, which is good. It's cool. I love Bitcoin, and I still invest into it because I believe it's the least riskiest project you can ever be in crypto. But then when it comes to Caspa, Caspa's here is solving the trilemma and trying to be that peer-to-peer electronic cash system that's decentralized, that's permissionless, and is actually doing what Bitcoin was supposed to do. And if we go back here, this was addressed back in August, guys. People were asking these questions, these good questions, back in August, and they're already being addressed. And I think it like coming in now and trying to say, hey, this is bad, we need to vote for this and all this stuff, it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. If we go to the next comment here, there's an equal friendliness argument. Being especially optical ASIC friendly means a larger part of the security budget comes from capital expenses. So with the same overall investment, you get the same security, but more of it goes to manufacturing rather than electricity bills. Next one here is confirming times, assuming a limited strong attacker. Less than 49% should be in order of 40 seconds for Ghost Stack. The only argument for waiting 10 to 60 minutes as equivalent of BTC 1 to 6 confirmations is the security budget of the attack. It is claimed that with GPU mineable coin, it is cheaper to acquire 51% of the hash rate for a minute than it is to run a 51% for an hour. This precisely is the argument for actual optical proof of work, since the security budget moves to the capital expenses, and we can be back to assuming that it is difficult to get 51% even for a minute. And this is the thing with ASIC mining, it's much more expensive to get this equipment. It would not be profitable for someone to make an attack with ASIC equipment because they would just lose money off of the attack because of how expensive this equipment already is. This is basically what I understand from reading that part there. And I think also we are forgetting the crucial things about the developments of Kaspa that pretty much solve a lot of the issues. One of the common things not common things, but one of the points I heard in Cheer's argument in this video over here was that, we need to do what Ethereum did, and they became ASIC resistant, and it was because Ethereum had a bunch of things going for it. It had good utility and like smart contracts or whatever and all that stuff. And that's why, even though it was ASIC resistant, it was still one of the top cryptos. But guys, we are a coin and we are trying to be an actual currency with utility, but people forget that, hey, smart contracts is actually possible on our coin. It's possible on the block bag protocol. It's not like it's not gonna ever happen. This is being planned, and this is possible to happen eventually, which will incentivize these ASIC miners to stay with Caspa because, hey, they're doing a lot of stuff that would bring tons of people to our coin if we have smart contracts. Not only that, people forget that we just upgraded to Rust. Upgrading to Rust increases blocks per second, which allows more miners and miners that are not able to compete that well to find blocks because there's more blocks every second. And I forgot to address this in the previous video, the fact that the emission schedule also does not increase or get faster because of ASICs. The emission schedule is completely set. If you go to the tokenomics over here and you don't know what really I'm talking about the Caspa emission schedule, you can come to the release schedule over here and it tells you how much Caspa is going to be released every single month. This is set in stone. ASIC miners does not increase the speed at all. And again, 62% is already mined by GPUs/CPUs. So lastly, I want to end with this right here. So some information about coin security and why ASIC resistance is a distraction from real issues. This was issued 5 months ago. People claim a few things about ASIC resistant coins, such as they're somehow more fair, or the big one, that it provides decentralization and therefore better coin security. They don't want dedicated hardware mining their coin because there's too much centralization if there's only a few companies who make ASIC miners for it. Let me tell you why I get a different feeling. The same people who claim ASIC resistant is making their coin more secure and decentralized have a network that could be taken down by only 2 pools colluding with one another. But wait, it gets worse, a lot worse. Most people don't know it, but it is even possible to pull off a 51% attack with maybe 35% to 40% of the network hash. I know this sounds weird, so let me explain how it works in detail. And I recommend that you go ahead and look and read into all of this because this will give you more details about ASICs and that this stuff was already addressed back in the day. This has been addressed months ago. This isn't something new. We're all new to the space, and I think we need to research and realize that Kaspa was prepped for this from the beginning. Kaspa was always ready for ASIC mining to come in from the beginning, and personally, I'm not going to be worried about it. I think ultimately we should not even try to vote for this because it's in the foundation of Kaspa that, hey, this is going to come. This is something that shouldn't change because it was part of the plan. And so I hope you guys got a little bit more insight. Go ahead and check out Cheer's video. I do recommend you do that. Let's keep the debate going and keep it clean down in the comment section down below. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. I'm putting a video out every single day for you guys. And with all that being said, see you guys in the next one.